This is the curse of the lost treasure. Let me tell you the tale. Deep in the Caribbean's shadowy embrace where sunlight fears to tread, lies the mythical Isle of Blood or Isla Sangre. Here where gnarled trees writhed like phantoms, and moss-draped ruins whispered of forgotten cults, there stirs an evil older than time. The legend goes like this. When the world was young and the veil between realities thinnest, the old ones stirred. They say the primordial gods of the abyss rose from their sunken cities and fashioned a treasure beyond mortal ken.
Ho, ho, ho!
This wasn't just any hoard of gold or jewels. No, sorry. This treasure pulsed with the very essence of their dark powers, a chthonic cache that promised unimaginable might to any who dared possess it. And they say the heart of it all, the core of the curse, was a black gemstone known as the heart of the abyss, a jewel that glowed with an eerie inner light and thrummed with eldritch energies best left undisturbed. The old ones knew the peril such power would bring, so before vanishing back into the maelstroms of the deep, they placed the treasure in the Isle of Blood and cursed it.
Ho, ho, ho!
By their unholy names, only those pure of heart and untainted by the lust for power could ever hope to find it. But as for anyone touched by greed or ambition, well, let's just say they had other plans. Now, fast forward to a time when the Caribbean was a pirate's paradise. Men roamed the seas under flags of fortune, and men like Captain Elias Drake sought fortunes untold. A pirate captain with a face like granite and eyes like chips of ice, Elias Drake was a legend in his own right. His name struck terror into the hearts of merchants and nobility alike.
Ho, ho, ho!
He commanded a fearsome vessel, the Blood Serpent, and his cutlass sang a deadly song of its own. Yet despite his hardened shell, there were echoes of tragedy and torment within him, shadows of a past better left undisturbed. You see, Elias had a score to settle with the Isle of Blood. Years ago, during a violent storm, he'd been forced to seek shelter there. But he soon learned the island's perils firsthand when many of his crew vanished without a trace, claimed by the island's supernatural clutches.
Ho, ho, ho!
Vowing revenge, he swore to uncover the secrets of Isla Sangre, little knowing what horrors awaited. One night in Port Royal's smoky taverns, Elias won half of the treasure map in a deadly card game against the ruthless Spanish warlord, Don Diego Cortez. The other half was held by none other than Captain Vesper Quinn, Elias's former lover and now formidable rival. Commanding a rival crew aboard her ship, the Crimson Widow, Vesper was a force to be reckoned with, cunning, ambitious, and as deadly with a blade as any man. When news spread of Elias's victory, a shadow fell across the tavern.
Ho, ho, ho!
Tall and imposing, Captain Alonso stood before him, a cutlass heavy on his hip and a sneer twisting his features. "Hand over the map, Drake," he demanded. "Orteus gave me the other half, and together we can claim the prize." But Elias just laughed, a low rumble in his chest. "Dreams of gold, Alonso. You seek only what will bring ruin to us all. If you want my share of the map, you'll have to earn it." The air crackled with tension as the two captains circled each other, their eyes locked in a duel of wills. Suddenly, a card slammed onto the table, a king of spades staring up at them.
Ho, ho, ho!
"So be it," Elias said, rising to his feet. "We play for the whole damn map." And so began the deadliest poker game the Caribbean had ever seen, a battle of wits and risks with fortunes and fates hanging in the balance. Through the haze of pipe smoke and spilled rum, the game raged on. Hours bled into days as the stakes grew higher and the competition fiercer. Don Alonso played with cold precision, while Elias countered with daring bluffs and outrageous raises. Each player pushed his luck and tested his opponent, knowing the consequences of a single misstep.
Ho, ho, ho!
The prize, the complete map leading to the legendary treasure of the old ones. As the first tendrils of dawn crept through the tavern windows, Elias made his final play, laying down a royal flush that left his competitors stunned. With the map secure, Elias set sail into the star-studded night, leaving Port Royal and its treacherous inhabitants behind. Guiding his crew with a steady hand, he navigated the moonlit seas towards the Isle of Blood, eager to uncover the secrets buried within. But reaching Isla Sangre was one thing, surviving it quite another.
Ho, ho, ho!
As they neared the shore, a thick fog rolled in, shrouding the land in an eerie silence. With grim determination, Elias led his remaining crew to the fog-shrouded shores of Isla Sangre. Guided by cryptic runes, they discovered an underground stone temple bristling with hidden traps and guarded by skeletal warriors risen from graves long forgotten. The island fought back, testing their courage and resolve with every step. But with grim resolve, Elias and his dwindling band pressed on, determined to unravel the mysteries that lay ahead. And then came the ultimate trial.
Ho, ho, ho!
The treasure chamber, nestled deep within the earth, beckoned with untold riches, yet guarded by a malevolent presence, the guardian of the curse. A colossal sea demon wreathed in shadow, its tentacles writhed like living serpents ready to crush any intruder. But as Elias gazed upon the trove, his eyes fell upon the heart of the abyss pulsating before him. With a mix of fascination and dread, he reached out, grasped the gem, and in that instant, the very foundations of the temple shook.
Ho, ho, ho!
The ground split asunder, releasing a torrent of primeval energy, and from the depths emerged the guardian of the curse, a creature of nightmares given form. It lashed out with tentacles as thick as masts, sending monstrous howls echoing through the caverns. The ensuing battle shook the island to its core. The air crackled with dark magic and the scent of ozone as the guardian unleashed its full fury. Tentacles whipped through the chamber, seeking to bind and crush Elias and his crew. But they fought back with cutlass and pistol, desperate to survive.
Ho, ho, ho!
As the tide of battle ebbed and flowed, it became clear that brute force alone would not prevail. Then Elias remembered the sacrifice spoken of in the legends, a grim price demanded by the old ones. With a haunted look in his eyes, Elias drew his cutlass, the moonlight glinting on its edge. With a deep breath, he closed his eyes and brought the blade down, grazing his own arm. A cry escaped his lips, but he pressed on, letting the blood drip onto the waiting stone altar. In that instant, the very fabric of reality seemed to shift.
Ho, ho, ho!
The blood reacted with the ancient glyphs, activating a teleportation circle that shimmered into existence beneath the altar. The guardian sensed the unfolding magic and lashed out with renewed ferocity. The battle raged anew, giving Elias mere moments to make his move. With a final surge of strength, he stepped into the circle and activated it, hurling himself and the heart of the abyss into the unknown. They tumbled through a vortex of swirling colors and sensations until crashing to the deck of the blood serpent.
Ho, ho, ho!
Gasping for breath, Elias looked up to see the ghostly visage of the guardian looming over him, its tentacles smashing through the deck of his ship. But as quickly as it appeared, the demon vanished, leaving behind only a roiling maelstrom. But their respite was short-lived. As the demon rampaged through the ship, its tentacles crushing everything in their path, the treasure's power surged within Elias, warping his mind and twisting his body. Tendrils of darkness snaked around his limbs, seeking to bind and corrupt him utterly. Yet even in the grip of the curse, Elias Drake remained defiant.
Ho, ho, ho!
With a roar that echoed the demon's rage, he struggled against the shadowy bonds, determined to retain control. In the midst of the struggle, a familiar silhouette loomed against the storm-tossed sky, the Crimson Widow, firing flaming cannon fire that tore through the roiling darkness. At the helm stood Captain Quinn, her face grim with determination. With a battle cry, she led her crew in a boarding assault, bringing the fight directly to the demon. Amidst the chaos, Vesper found Elias, his form racked with the treasure's dark influence.
Ho, ho, ho!
Though their past was fraught with passion and betrayal, Vesper's loyalty to her crew and the ideals of fortune and freedom compelled her to help. Together, they managed to heave the heart of the abyss into the turbulent sea below. The moment the cursed gem hit the water, the demon's enraged cries echoed across the waves, before abruptly fading. The storm abated as quickly as it had risen, leaving behind a sea as still and dark as a sheet of obsidian. As dawn broke, Elias's ship drifted away from Isla Sangre, battered but free.
Ho, ho, ho!
In the distance, Vesper's figure emerged through the mist, neither ally nor enemy, but an eternal rival. The sea lay calm, the island's secrets buried once more beneath the waves. And so, the tale of the lost treasure ended, leaving behind only whispers and legends. For some treasures, it seems, are best left undisturbed, their secrets buried in the heart of the abyss. What do you think about the story? How do you think I did? If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want more tales like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Ho, ho, ho!